I'm Quan. I'm Vice Mayor of Oakland.
Where were you when you heard the news of the verdict?
You know, I decided to stay near City Hall because we knew we were going to have this gathering here, and I've been upstairs watching it on my computer, and I was sending out alerts to the neighborhood and reminding people where the safe gathering places in the city are today. And yeah, I watched everything.
What was your reaction?
I'm a little saddened. I mean, relieved and saddened. I mean, I'm glad it wasn't an acquittal. I feel sort of like John Burris is like, at least there's a verdict and there will be some time done. I, like many people, think here as a young man, somebody who I met and knew, who lost his life, and I guess we'll have to wait to see the sentencing to see whether or not there's enough justice here.
And you said Oscar Grant worked in your jurisdiction. How does that feel?
You know, Oscar Grant is from Hayward, but he worked at Farmer Joe's in the Diamond. He worked as a butcher or butcher's assistant, and I had a discussion with him about 2 weeks before New Year's about meat and talking about how actually if he wanted to become a butcher, it was a good job. And he was seen like a very sweet, very nice person. And so, like, you know, it's like shock. You know, it's like losing a little brother or a nephew. I think that's how a lot of people in Oakland feel. You know, the media doesn't talk much about him, and so you have no idea other than maybe that he was in a fight on New Year's. You don't see him as a father. They very rarely talk about the fact that he's a father, that he had a job, that he worked at our organic, one of the most popular organic grocery stores in Oakland. You know, that gives a very different feel of who he was.
And then we're already starting to hear that there's some chaos going on 11th and Broadway. Do you feel that there's going to be more violence?
You know, there was a small group that came here to do that, and we couldn't stop them before. We probably can't stop them now, but I think they're a very small and isolated group. Most of the people really here from Oakland are down there, and you know, who are going to be either at this rally or on the corner rally.
Now, it's a small group, like I would say a little bit over 100. Do you think this is a small crowd, or is it just too early, or are you expecting more?
You know, I think a lot of people are just going to stay home and think about it. I think had there been an acquittal, there might be a larger, more angry crowd. I think some people, we know there's some church groups and other groups that are going to come to perform. But, you know, we'll see. That most of the people who came, who wanted to show solidarity, a lot of them work with a few groups in West Oakland, and, you know, other people who wanted to stay, and, you know, I've seen a few seniors from my district. You know, I don't know if you're going to have a big turnout. And remember, we've also set up 6 places around town where people can gather, where young people can gather. So our idea was not necessarily to have a huge demonstration. Our idea was just to have safe places where people could express themselves.
And where is Mayor Dellums? Are we expecting him today?
Mayor Dellums was at the Emergency Operating Center, you know, and he gave an official statement, and he's monitoring the citywide situation from there. We have a center that when we have disasters or we have emergencies, city leadership is supposed to report there. I decided that I'd rather stay out here today because there are enough people there. I wanted to be closer here to where the demonstrations were and keep an eye on what was happening here.
Should we expect Dellums to walk around, talk to people?
I think that they're going to come later. You know, as long as they're not needed at the emergency operation. Like if this little situation with the small group that's trying to do the vandalism down here continues, he may have to stay there just to keep an eye on that situation. But I know some of my colleagues and other people are planning to head